time. It is Wednesday, February 16th, and this is your daily financial news. Let me move this camera around a little bit. There we go. Perfect. So what I got for you today is a lot of exciting stuff, but before I do that, I thought I should answer a question that I got from a new subscriber. If you're new or an OG, an old timer to One Rental at a Time, you have now learned that I put out a lot of content 7 days a week, right? Not only do we do the daily financial news, but we talk to 8, 9 different multimillionaires every week, and we do 3 videos at a time. I realize that is a ton of content, averaging about 6 videos a day. So let me just say this. I do not expect anyone to watch all 6 videos 7 days a week. My intention is the daily financial news becomes a must watch. That is where you are seeing the subtleties in the consumer. That is where you will see cost of capital. That's where you will hear where I am changing my business or doing something new. Then from there, I strongly suggest you find the experts that you connect with. That's why I have them. I've collected these experts because they are all different. Some will feel like you, and others will be like, that's just not me. So my suspicion is you will find the one that you connect with. And then remember, each of them have their playlist. Each of them averages over 100 hours of material. So you really can binge if you want to watch Anna Kelly or Matt the Mortgage Guy or Dion or Matt or Greg or Jonathan, or the list goes on and on and on and on. And then from there, if there's a topic that interests you, you might be able to put it in my YouTube search and be one of the first 5,000 videos. Maybe we have covered it. So that's how I would watch it. I realize I put out a lot of content. I thoroughly enjoy this. I enjoy helping. I enjoy trying to be a little bit of positive in your day. So with that, let's get started. So let's talk about retail sales. Retail sales came out. They were stronger than expected. They came in at 3.8%. Expectations, as I shared earlier in the week, were for 2%, or 2.1, excuse me. But remember, we need to learn the difference between real and nominal. Remember, I brought this up about a month ago, maybe 45 days ago. Every number you hear this year, at least in the first 6 months, ask yourself, is that adjusted for inflation? Let's do some math together. Retail sales plus 3.8%. What did we hear last week? CPI, Consumer Price Index. Memory says it was 7.5%. So was retail sales really up 3.8%, or did we buy less stuff, but it cost more? Right? So if you subtract 7.5 from 3.8, you get a negative number of 3.7. These are the things that we really need to ask. We haven't dealt with inflation in 40 years. Not a lot of people remember it. I remember researching it a bunch back in college because that was the exciting thing to do as a young economist, is go look at the inflation era, because when prices change, consumer behavior changes, switching costs, price elasticity. We spent a lot of time studying the late 70s and early 80s. So again, not a lot of people have done the homework. And if you are on this channel, you know I am all about doing the homework. We got some earnings out the last 24 hours or so that I think are interesting. Airbnb beat top and bottom and gave strong guidance. They said they have a lot of pent-up demand. They have 25% more nights already booked for summer travel. That's pretty good. I did find it interesting that they booked 73.4 million nights last quarter, and that was down 8%. Really? So basically, if you have less nights, but you beat, that means you're probably charging more. Again, very interesting. They do expect Q1 nights, or stays, if you will, to exceed the highs of 2022. We shall see. Airbnb. For me, Airbnb is like, when are the hotels going to come back? Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt. So far, they are not. I wonder if Airbnb is on the cusp of pulling a Netflix, a Peloton, right? Where they saw a huge spike and then kind of the competition or consumer taste change. I don't know. Airbnb feels kind of fully valued to me, but we shall see. Roblox, if you are playing in the metaverse, which I clearly am not, but Dion, if you're watching, you probably are. Roblox missed top and bottom, and they saw 49 million people playing, up 33%, but still they missed top and bottom and gave weak guidance. I think their stock's down double digit in percentages today. Who else reported? Shopify beat top and bottom, but said growth is slowing. Folks, a lot of these pandemic names are recycling out of favor. Shopify was huge for 2 years. Now they are telling you growth is slowing. Is that a good thing for us in the economy? Maybe meaning physical stores, or is it a sign that consumers are retreating? I don't know. More data to come. Wynn Resorts, they hit revenue, but they missed the bottom line. Wynn Resorts is still struggling. Denny's had an interesting report to me. If you don't know Denny's, I think Denny's are national. Yeah, Denny's, the breakfast joint, I think they're national. They missed top and bottom and said basically inflation is eating them alive. Denny's is a low-cost provider. Good food, lots of food. But yeah, Denny's is saying inflation is eating them alive, supply chain employees. My takeaway is they're going to have to raise prices. A couple other things going on. Looks like lumber is rebounding. Lumber is adding $19,000 to the cost of new homes. Got a report from builders. They are struggling. National builders struggling to get cabinets, windows. Dead days are piling up, carrying costs. Not a good time to be a builder out there. Lumber is 22% lower than the peak. However, it is still 3x 2019 levels. Looks like the calls for 50 basis points are getting louder. I am very interested in the Fed minutes released later today, I think at 11 o'clock. I want to see how many Fed presidents are talking about 50 basis point cut. Cut. Woo, where'd that come from? 50 basis point raise. I think it has to happen. I still believe the Fed wants to make us believe 25 basis point is coming, and then they want to deliver a half. They want to shock the market. They don't want to telegraph it. That is what I think is coming. What scares me the most about the Fed is not a 50 basis point cut. It is not stopping the taper. It is them reducing their balance sheet. My fear is once they become a seller and not a buyer, rates will move up again. And I don't think people are ready. I don't think we're ready. It is going to be interesting. We're hearing from the AMD CEO that chip shortage is not going to be resolved this year, which means inflation to me is going to keep going. Not a good time. We do have a lot of fabs being built, but they will not help in 2022 and probably not help a lot in 2023. Looks like offices in tech land are finally reopening. I don't know if I talked about this yesterday. I don't think I did. Microsoft has announced the opening of their Bay Area and Seattle offices or Washington offices on February 28th. Somebody had to be first. Looks like it is going to be Microsoft. You can expect the Facebooks and the Googles and the others to do the same. Maybe we can finally put this thing behind us, get back to the office, help mom and pop restaurants, coffee shops, and we can start being around other people. Lazy Boy missed. I forgot that one. Lazy Boy missed top and bottom and blamed the supply chain. They say they have plenty of demand, but they don't have enough finished product. 30-year mortgages now are officially over 4%, 4.05% produced by the Mortgage Association. Demand for purchases were down 1%, and refis were down 9%, 54% year on year. Cathie Wood, One thing I would ask you to do if you want to really know about me is type in Cathie Wood into my channel. You will see a video that I put out 9 months ago. It's one of the only videos that has a red thumbnail. I basically warned you about Cathie Wood and the ARK fund, saying Cathie Wood could be right and you could still lose a lot of money. Again, Cathie Wood has a great marketing shtick. 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. Well, you know what? She may be right. But how's that 50% drop? And I put out that video 9 months ago warning you this was coming. And I just like to, I actually got a lot of hate on that video. A lot of people are like, you don't know what you're doing, boomer. I'm not a boomer. Gen X, baby. But yes, a lot of people said I didn't understand. And I'm like, just wait. I did the same thing in the dot-com era. I know what's going on. So again, I want to take a victory lap with that video. Blackstone. Blackstone's buying. Blackstone. We did a video the other day with Dion. I think it was Dion. No, maybe it had been Matt talking about Ivy Zelman in bigger pockets. Looks like Blackstone's not listening to Ivy. They've just inked a $5.8 billion deal to buy 12,000 units in the Sun Belt and 54 grocery anchored shopping centers. My suspicion, given the portfolio that bought them, is they will probably close this deal and then they will sell the 54 shopping centers, kind of making it a quick flip. But we shall see. And then the final article I read right before hitting go live, Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan? I don't know. He's basically saying the U.S. consumer is strong. The U.S. consumer supposedly has upped their spending by 20% in February, which is interesting. Obviously, this is credit card information that Brian has access to. I don't know. Does the economy feel strong to you? Certainly does it to me. We'll be talking with Anna Kelly here in about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to be asking her, along with Matt, the mortgage guy, and a surprise guest at 9 o'clock. So remember, like, subscribe, comment, interact with me, and keep being positive. Keep doing the work daily. You too can make some money. You too can get good or great deals. Have fun. We'll be back tomorrow with the daily financial news. Hint, tomorrow's Thursday. We do those at 7 a.m. Take care. Bye-bye.